Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel, and on this channel I make sewing tutorials. I drop new videos every Wednesdays and Saturdays. Now in this video, first of all, this video is a highly requested video. A lot of you wanted to no, it's not a highly requested video. That like about 10 people asked for this video actually, but I would have given them the video anyway. But anyway, this video is a video where I show you how I take my measurements. I feel like I have to make this video because it will tie everything together. Now for those of you that have had confusions about the simplicity of the way I do things, the way I draft, the way I sew, the way I basically go about my craft, I feel like this video is going to clear up a lot for you guys. Big thanks to everybody that has subscribed recently from when I started to the point I am at now. I'm very, very grateful for all the support. So let's get on with the video. Please don't forget to share this video. Oh, and yeah, please forgive me one thing. I wasn't looking into the camera for the vast majority of the video, but anyway, I don't think looking into the camera will stop you from learning now, would it? No, just watch the video, learn what you're here to learn. Mind your business. Channel. So you cut it. I can't cut. Painting my finger. I don't see why I should. Black this thing. I don't see why I should. I don't understand. I went that. If I would cut all this part. Oh, no cut. Done. Anyway. So the first measurements that I'm going to show you how I take mine. This is how I take my shoulder measurements. So here we have the person's shoulders. So what I like to do is I like to come to this part of the shoulder right before where the slope is. That's this slope here. I like to come from here, right? I'm going to take the measurement. This is how I take the measurement from here to here. So if I was taking her measurement to make something, I'll keep her shoulder at 16. Okay, not where the t-shirt is. This shoulder is a bit longer than her actual shoulder measurement. I would have stopped it at 16. You can also take it like this too. As you can see, it's still showing as 16. But I don't know, I feel more comfortable going around the shoulder. Okay, the next measurement I'm going to show you how I take is my bust measurement. Now if you look at the side, for you people, the ladies, most of you like taking hands up please, you like taking your measurements around the bust like this, and then you come in front and you do this. Now besides Peace, if Peace was not my friend, I would not take my measurement here. What I like doing, because I'm a man and I'm trying to keep it professional, what I like doing is I like coming to the side, and from the side you can see the profile. If I drag the shirt here, you can see the fullest point of her bust around here, right? So what I like doing is this. I'm going to take my tape around the body, okay, and I'm going to take it over here so that I can avoid contact at the front. I just feel it's a bit awkward for me. So what I do is I take it over here, right? It's be 38. Okay, so that's how I take my bust measurement. Okay, now the next measurement I take is my under bust round. The next measurement I take is my under bust round. Now the under bust round is the distance around the body immediately under the bust. So if you have the bust here, the under bust round measurement, I take it at this point exactly. So it's still the same thing. I take it from the side. It's just stand in one place. Carry your hands up please. I take it from the side like this. See? So you're going to have to put one finger in between so that it's not extremely tight. So as you can see, I always have one finger in between right there, right? So for this measurement, I'm going to use 32. Okay, now the next measurement after that is the underbust length. The underbust length tells us where to place our underbust round measurements. Okay, so the underbust length, I'm going to come to the shoulder from here straight down. Now please, if you look at her shoulder, you can see that there's a slope, right? This point here is higher than this point. I always slope my shoulders in all my tutorials. We slope our shoulder.
You're showing.
What's showing?
You cut all this part.
What's the showing? Okay, the cloth are saying what I'm just looking at my face, eh? Well, They all know that is hot now. See me see problem. Anyway, the fan is off because there is no light, and even if there was
you're not
light,
putting this patch.
even if there was light, I'll have turned off the fan for perfect acoustics, so they're not be hearing.
You got all that.
Who told you? Anyway, the next measurement I'm going to take is my underbust length. So like I said, it's from the shoulder down. So when you're taking your underbust length, you come from this point and go down. You don't come from this point, because distance from here, from this point to here, right, will be a smaller number than distance from here to here, and we always come from this point when we're drafting. So what I like doing is I like to keep my measurement starting from the highest point of the shoulder. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come from point of, please can you tilt to the side, turn to the side. I'm going to come from the top of the shoulder like this, and I'm going to take my tape, and if you notice I'm going to use my thumb to go to under her bust. You see that? So immediately under her bust, I'm going to use my thumb. If you want, you can use your thumb to feel for that under wire at the bottom of her bra. So as you can see, that is how I'm taking my under bust length from the highest point of the shoulder, from the highest point of the shoulder down to this point. Okay, so that's the under bust length. Another thing, I don't take my bust point measurement. If you guys have noticed, whenever I'm drafting, I used to do my under bust length -4 to get my bust point, because if this was a client, it's very, very inappropriate for me to be asking her for where her nipple is. I don't know if you understand that kind of very, very, madam, please where is your nipple? I'm looking for your bust point. So as you guys, I cannot start fondling with somebody's wife or somebody's girlfriend, or even if she's single, it'd be extremely inappropriate. So that is why I used to say my under bust length -4 inches is my bust point. So under bust length is reading at 14. Please can you place your hand on where your nipple is, please? Don't worry, it's on where your bust point is, right there. Bang, ding 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 ding. So we had 14. You see, it works like magic. Let's tell you guys, it works like magic. We had 14. 1, 2, 3, 4. If it doesn't land at 4, land at 3.5, 3.8, whatever. 3.5, 3.8, same difference. 4 inches, they are all the same thing. But as you can see, this is a real life example where we had we have the bust sitting down at 4 inches exactly. Okay, Jesus Christ.
Can I clean sweat?
Now this technique that I always use, it works like a charm. But if you know that you have, you know, that you have double D's, you know, one of them something. If you know that you have a lot of busts, yours will probably sit around 4.5, but I'm talking about really busty people. Most people would sit at 4 inches. Okay, so after we're done with that out of the way, the next measurement we're going to take is the top length. Okay, so when I'm taking my top length, what I do is I come again to the highest point at the shoulder. Please can you tilt to the side? I come to the highest point at the shoulder, you know, follow the contours of the body, right? Just like you can see that. Follow the contours of the body, you know, you can still make sure that this doesn't change, and then you take the desired top length. So wherever she wants it to be. If you want the top to be at 25, you can keep it at 25, 24, wherever you want it to be, you can keep it at that point. Okay? Now please don't just take the tape from up here and then just drag it all the way down, right? I don't do that. You can even see where 14 is sitting right now. Instead of sitting around here, look at where 14 is. That's what we were doing. Okay, so that is how I take my top length measurement. Now the next measurement that I'm going to show you how to take is my sleeve round, bicep, whatever you want to call it, but the distance around the fullest part of the upper arm, that is this place here. So by the time our example piece here has had like 4 or 5 children, and I started cooking food for occasions and for birthday parties, she'll start having that Christian mother arm that they should have it. But anyway, at the end of the day, this is going to be the fullest part. This is the fullest part of the arm, no matter if you have big, small, fat, anything, whatever. Here will always be the biggest point. So we're going to go to that place to take sleeve round. So this is reading 13. As you can see, I have one finger in between. I have a finger in between. I don't know if you can pick that up. You should be able to see it now. So that's how you take your sleeve round. And then the next thing is to take our sleeve length. You come to where we stopped our shoulder measurement, right? that's around here, come to that point, right before where this loop starts. Okay, and we take our sleeve length. Okay, so you can take it anywhere you want it. If you are taking a long sleeve, what you do is this: you take the tape, you get round. When you get to the elbow, please release your hand a bit, just a bit slightly. You have your client tilt her arm slightly, and then that's enough. You take the sleeve length that you want. The person should not keep their arms like this. If not, you don't really get it. It's best if the hand is slightly tilted. Okay, so that's how I take the sleeve length. After that, the next measurement that you take, if you're making a long sleeve, is take the person's elbow measurement, which is still this, and then take the person's cuff measurement, which is this. Okay, if we're making a dress, we will come from the shoulder like so, follow here, and then we simply take it all the way, turn to the side, a bit. We take it from here all the way down to, how do I show them the bottom now?
It's ground, just no.
See, but you cannot show her leg.
I beg, don't do that thing. See, don't do it.
I should not show them the down part.
Down part of what?
Of the dress, of how to take it. It doesn't matter to me.
Ariana.
So we're going to follow it like that, straight down until we get to the end. Now, depending on if the person wants the dress to be longer than 60, you can now start counting. You can add another tip to it if you want to know what to do. But if you have the right amount of experience, you can judge by how many inches you want to. Usually, what I like doing is this: if the person is going to wear a 6-inch heel, I like adding extra 5 inches. So always 1 inch less than the heel that the person intends to wear. Okay, so that's that on that. But if you're making a dress that that is supposed to be like for a photo shoot, that the client doesn't really intend to wear it a lot, doesn't intend to wear it yet a lot, and doesn't intend to move around a lot, it can be longer than 65, can be 70, 80 if you want to make those dresses that spill over and pour everywhere on the floor. Sure. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to show you how to take measurements for the skirts. For the waist, I'm going to come, ask the client where she likes to wear her, ask the client where she likes to wear her skirts, and then simply take the waist measurement around that part. Please say if it's a high-waisted skirt, you might need to take it a bit higher than where we usually take our waist measurements. Please, ma, where do you like wearing your skirts? Yeah. There. You see that? You see that? You see that? That's what you can do. So here we have.
Move your finger.
Here we have 33.5. See that? Still keep a thumb, keep your finger inside. Keep your finger inside. The next measurement we're going to take is the hip measurement. So now, depending on where the hip is at its fullest, for this client, this is where the hip is at its fullest, judging from the front and from the longest part at the back. But for most people, for some people, they will have more hips than bumps. So please, very careful about where you are placing this measurement. For this client, this is the fullest part of the bum, and that's where I'm placing my tape across, as you can see. Okay, so mine is 41. Okay, the hip is 41. So that is how you take the hip measurement. The next measurement is the skirt length. Now I've shown you people how to take the dress length. As for the skirt length, it's basically the same thing as the dress length. We're going to come from where she says she wears her skirt. We're going to follow the contours of her body and repeat the same thing that I showed you, that I just showed you on how to take your dress length. Okay. Now for the trousers, how I take my measurement is I'm going to first of all take my waist measurement like I've just done for my skirt, right? After that, I'm going to take the hip measurement like I just did for the skirt. The next measurement I'm going to take is my thigh measurement. Okay, so at ease, See that my tip is not, I'm not going to go and drag my clients. You see what I'm doing? Be very, very professional with sensitive.
Is it showing?
With sensitive measurements like this. Yes, it's showing. Turn to the side, please, so you can see everything. See that? Then, the finger, and you click the tape around. Okay? So here we have.
But should have like be that
26.
nonsense thing from the camera lens.
26 points. Oh, 26. Here we have 26. Okay? So that's how to take the thigh measurements. The next measurement I will take is, please be standing on this chair.
Stand on the chair, I should keep my leg.
Come on, no, shift. Stand on top. So, now we've taken the waist measurement, we've taken the hip measurement and the thigh. The next measurement I will take, depending on the type of trousers I'm making. If I'm making pant trousers, I'm going to come around the knee and I'm going to take a measurement. Please keep your hand on my shoulder. Please don't do this on the chair. If you have, the reason why she's standing here is so that you guys can see, right? Because my camera can't come any lower. It's at the lowest point on the tripod. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the tape firmly and please, I'm going to let her tilt her leg backwards. Okay, so as she tilts, I'm going to tilt it higher than that. Okay, drop it down. So you can see this is the amount of allowance that she would need to make her that will make wearing the trouser a comfortable experience. Okay, you don't want to make it too tight around the knee. If not, she'll have problems when she wants to sit, when she wants to move around. I hope the mic is not too far away. When she wants to move around and stuff like that. So that is that. Now at the hem, what I do is if I'm sewing jeans and it is stretchy like this, what I do is I take the hem tight. Okay, if I'm making a pant trouser and she needs that is a bit stretchy, I'm going to use 13, okay, or 12.5. Don't worry that it looks big like this. When you actually make it into a trouser, it's not going to look so big. If I'm making a fabric that's not stretchy at all, and for a lady I'm going to use 13.5. You can still use 13, but she might need to struggle if she has big feet. Okay, but please, if the fabric is not stretchy, never make it less than 13 for a lady. If not, she will not be able to pass her leg through. It will be very, very uncomfortable to put on and take off that sort of trouser. All right, that's it.